So hey, hi, hello everyone. Today we got Yash Tulsian, who converted FMS, one of the dream colleges of many CAT aspirants. So let's have a discussion or a convo about his journey with him, and let's try to get so many insights from him. So hey, hi Yash, how are you?
Hi Keshav, thank you so much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm good.
Before starting the conversation, I want you to introduce yourself and give a quick brief about you to our students.
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Yash Tulsian. I'm born and brought up in Kolkata. Did my schooling in Kolkata. Did my undergrad at St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, in economics. I graduated last year. I've been working in a family business ever since. And I gave CAT last year as well as this year. And I'm grateful to have converted FMS Delhi. So that's about me.
Great. So you gave CAT last year and this year also. So could you tell us your percentiles and your profile also, so people may get an idea about what it takes to get into one of the dream colleges of India?
Sure. So my profile, like on the surface of it, is a 996 because I have a GPA of 6 in college and 1012 is 90 plus. Additionally, I have cleared all levels of CFA examination. I've also cleared all levels of
Oh,
FRM examination. And I have like a bunch of extracurricular activities, which I'll maybe get into later. So on the surface of it, the profile might seem to not be that great for getting a B school convert, but I was confident that once I get an interview call that it would be not that big a deal to convert it in the first place. As for my percentiles, I got 99.38 percentile in 2024 and 99.57 percentile in 2025.
so 19.3 in 24 attempt and 19.5 plus in 25 attempt.
Yes, sir.
Great. So I think what happened in 24? In my opinion, 19.3 is it too good of a percentile. So what happened in 24 and what changed in 25?
Sure. So it actually hits very close to home. So when like I was any other aspirant in 2024, I had the same idea that if I get more than 99% tile, it would be enough to make getting ABC calls. But that's not how the reality works. As a fresher in India, 99 percentile puts you around about the top 3,000 to 2,500 number of candidates, which is not that good a rank if you want to convert a top B school, like an ABCL, FMS, SPXL kind of a B school. And because my undergrad GPA was not very high, I did not get any calls from the Blackie universities as well as SPJIMR, and I also missed on XLRI as I also the FMS because FMS has a straight cutoff for 99.5 percentile if you want to get a call. So on the surface of it, to the layperson, 0.38 is a very good percentile, but it was not enough to make the cut last year, for which I had to repeat like this year. What changed this year? I believe I would attribute to a bit of luck. I think Indore changes criteria to make it more cat centric. At the same time, because I cleared level 3 of CFA, I got a call from Cozy Code because they gave more marks for that. Additionally, my profile improved, so I got a better call from XPJIMR, which I obviously eventually converted. And FMS gave me a call because I cleared more than 0.5 percentile. So because it's only a difference of maybe a couple of marks, but that couple of marks can make a whole lot of difference in the journey of a student in CAT.
Great. So I think you got calls from FMS, IMK, and SPJIMR too. So have you converted SPJIMR too?
Yes, sir, I have converted SPJIMR Finance. That is correct.
Great, great. So I think you have two of the best B schools in India in your hands. Great. So you mentioned that XLRI in our convo also. So did you rate did you rate XAT?
I did give that this year. That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So how much did you score in that?
I scored 99.4 percentile to be precise in that this year. And thankfully, I cleared all
Great. So,
sectionals. Last year, I got
okay.
99.3 percentile. I was unable to clear DM sectional because of which I didn't get a call last year from XLRI.
So you received a call and attended the interview for XLRI Jamshedpur also.
Yes, sir.
Great, great, great. So, one of the things you mentioned about your introduction, you said that you have extracurriculars like in some high level that gave an edge you to get selected in these colleges also. Like, what are those extracurriculars? Could you tell me?
Sure. So, sir, I'm a big sports fan. I'm a national level squash and paddle player. I've actually almost been selected for India to represent India in squash. I didn't make the cut eventually, but like that's a good story to say. And at the same time, I had a startup in sports as well, racket sports, building communities and stuff. So that is one side. Apart from that, I'm also a national level debater and quizzer. So speaking abilities and having a lot of PORs really helps me. Like acing interviews or just like having a better profile overall too. present myself.
Great. With a profile like you and a percentile like you, and the extracurriculars that you have aged in your entire career, I think it is a very rare combo of blend. So let's get into the preparation journey. So 99.3 in 24 and 99.5 in 25. So you are a person that had your foundation very strong, in my opinion, right? Because you improved 0.25 percentile again. So what is the preparation strategies that you used? Like when did you start the preparation for 25 attempt? What are the things that you did for 25 attempt? And what is the thing that most helped you? And if you have to give a lot of credit to one thing in your preparation, what would be the thing?
Right. So again, I think so. I started preparation around about August because, I mean, as you said, you're right. I have my foundation which was solid, and I think I pride myself in my English skills. So I did not need verbal practice. I practiced LRDI sets daily from a book that I had from last year. The thing that stood out for me most, or was a difference maker, was quants. So as any non-engineer, and every 90% of every non-engineer out there is quants, and I messed up quants 2024, which is a big reason why I could not make the cut for those IIMs eventually. I had 89 percentile in quants in 2024 and wanted to improve that somehow. So I looked up at Cracku, obviously. I looked at the sectionals. I specifically bought only the quant sectional tests because that's the only thing I wanted to improve upon. I practiced a lot of quant from Cracku's resources, from other resources that are present. The one thing that did stood out for me was one day before the exam when I was pretty anxious on how I'm supposed to ace quant because that was one thing which stopped me from getting those dream converts. I stumbled upon the YouTube channel of Cracku, and it's a great resource. It was absolutely free. I'm a huge fan of Maruti sir and Sayali ma'am because they put a lot of effort. It was an 8-hour video, YouTube video of all the formulas that were present in CAT. And I mean, it can seem to you right now to it's a trivial thing, but I practiced every single formula and every single question there. It took me 2 days to complete the entire video, and thankfully, 2 questions came in the actual paper, and I was able to crack
Oh,
those. And I feel that that was a difference maker between getting 0 calls and now you're getting 11 calls. So I think I'm extremely grateful to Maruti sir, to the entire Cracku team for keeping resources free, because someone like me would not want to buy an entire course having already had a decent percentile. I think this is what makes the difference and the extra edge. It might look like 2 or 3 marks to you, but it has changed my life for the better. So I'm really grateful to Cracku and to Maruti sir and Sayali ma'am and the entire team because they made a resources free. And that is a very good thing to do, and this is which makes them different from other institutions or other coaching centers that are present in the country. So 9% Cracku was a difference maker for me.
so main thing, our main aim and Maruti sir's main aim to provide all the free resources is like everyone should get the accessibility to study, right? So he is a person like struggled a bit in his childhood that do not have so much accessibility to prepare for all these exams in his life. So our main motto is that even though they are not enrolled with us, they should study well, right? So that is our main motto. That's why we provide a very like extreme amount of free resources in our YouTube and our channel also. I'm glad that. So which slot you are in? You mentioned that two questions there, direct questions came from that formula video. Which slot you are in?
Sir, I was in slot 2. I was in
Okay,
slot 2 in
so
CAT
slot for me,
2025.
I think you got two direct questions based on those formula video, right? Man, I think
Yes, yes.
that is
One of them was a
that
geometry
is
question. One was the geometry question. I think the answer was 50 degrees. I still remember that because that was the one question which if I had not got right, I would have probably stuck at the same percentile as last time. I wouldn't have got any other call. So that
yeah,
question really did make a difference.
well, yeah, like literally when you are playing it 98 plus percentiles and 99 plus percentiles, even 2 to 3 marks can make a lot of difference. So the thing that you have mentioned, I think I just realized that when to be honest, I didn't analyze the 2025 slot 2 paper. So I'm not able to get the questions that you're speaking about, but I'll definitely check it now after the convo has ended. I will definitely check them out. So the other thing is that you have said that you have converted FMS and SPJIMR and XLRI, maybe hopefully an XLRI convert also. So obvious question. So many people in India may dream to join either Ahmedabad or FMS. The all CAT aspirants can be divided into two groups: IMA and FMS. So you got one of those, and you got one of the most prestigious colleges in India, SPJIMR also. So, as you are a CFA level 3 candidate, what will you choose? Like FMS, XLRI, SPJIMR, like, and IMK Finance is also going to come in the next few days. So, if you converted in a hypothetical situation, if you have converted IMK Finance also, what is the thing and where you are going to head to?
So, sir, firstly, I think I'm in an extreme position of privilege. I did not imagine to be in this situation last year. So, I'm just extremely grateful and thankful to be in a situation in the first place. Given the fact that I have a decently good finance profile done with all levels of CFA and other things in Xavier's, I feel that SPJIMR's finance program is probably the most suited for me right now. It can also be recency bias because I don't have other converts as of now. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. It's a dilemma, a big dilemma to have. At the same time, FMS is a wonderful B school. I think the ROI is unmatched across the world, not just in India. You will not get that kind of ROI anywhere, and their consulting and marketing placements are also top notch. So I'm leaning towards SPJMR right now, but I'm just not sure because it's a difficult decision to make. So I would say I'm undecided right now.
So you have to put your thinking cap on and have to take the biggest decision of your life so far, maybe.
Yes, 100%.
Great. So I think it's a very good headache to have if you ask me, right? So you have all the things on your platter and you have to pick and choose the thing that works for you. Okay. So the other thing that I really want to know about is I actually interact with a lot of students on a day-to-day basis. So they mentioned that the people who have already have a very good basic and a very good foundation, they actually thrive in giving mocks and sectionals. Like there is nothing to actually revise for them, there is nothing to actually practice for them. So how many mocks did you give? What should be a day look like for you? Like you said that you have started your preparation in August. From August to November, what does a day look like you, and how many mocks did you give and how many sections did you do?
So, sir, I think I gave about 30 mocks and about 30 sectionals. I did not give any verbal sectionals because I was confident in my verbal abilities. I gave about 15 LRD, I gave 15 quant sectionals. The day was pretty simple. So I'm actually still working. So I used to go to the factory in the morning. I would be there till about 4 o'clock. Then I would actually go and play squash in the evening till about 6. Post 6, I would sit down. I would rest a bit till 7 maybe. From 7 to 9, I would give a mock every 2 days once. And after that, I would speak to another friend of mine who's also actually covered FMS Delhi, uh, as he's a college friend also. So I used to speak to him every day because he would give the same mocks and he would discuss questions, discuss techniques on how to
Oh,
solve those
wow.
questions. So I think it is a myth that at a certain percentile range you're not supposed to practice. Sure, your basics are good enough, and we're not supposed to maybe look at lectures. But I feel that mocks are very crucial, and if a mock is well made, it makes a whole lot of difference. Because I was able to look at things from 5 different ways when he was telling about his quant attempts, and I was telling 5 different ways of how to approach verbal. And now he's got a very good verbal score, and I got a decent quant score, which is 90 percentile this year. So the way the day was is 7 to 9. I would maybe look at giving the mock, and then I would analyze it for maybe 30 minutes post, or maybe after having dinner, and then I would speak to my friend for 30 minutes. Not a lot of effort because I had a basics cleared, but I was still consistent in at least giving 3 hours to the cat journey as a whole per day.
Think so many people have this thing that you have to give 6 to 7 hours per day of preparation from the month of June or May itself. Is it or a consistent effort of 2.5 to 3 hours every day would can beat 6 hours of preparation?
So I think it's totally dependent on person to person. It is a very individualistic process. The only thing that I would tell any aspirants out there, many people do text me and call me for the same, is that it's not the same exam as a school exam or as a college exam that you're supposed to mug up information and put it on the piece of paper. CAT will test how you react under pressure, and you
Yes.
cannot replicate that without mocks. So I feel that mocks is a non-negotiable. I gave 30 mocks in 2024 as well. I gave 30 mocks in 2025 as well. I feel 2 to 3 hours for me at least worked much more than 6 to 7 hours, simply because of the amount of effort that I can put into those 2 3 hours will give me a higher output than 6 to 7 hours of non-consistent effort. So if anyone is looking at this video and currently we are in April, I would probably urge you to look at the basics right now, but don't stress a lot because the journey is pretty long and it's exhausting. In fact, the journey for CAT actually starts for MBA starts actually after CAT because then you've got all those B school interviews lined up, and that actually takes a lot of your mental stamina. Right now, just probably focus on the basics. If your English is slightly weaker, maybe read more. If your LID is slightly weaker, look at the Cracku videos and just talk to people, get as much information as you can. And I would say most importantly, be aware of your expectations. You should know what you are aiming for. Many people do not have an idea. They feel that if they get an XYZ percentile, they'll get a call. That is not the case. So I feel that knowing what you are aiming for is very important before actually stepping into the battleground. I think that would be my advice to people who are like maybe viewing this video or are attempting CAT this year.
Great. See, that is a prudent piece of advice if you ask me, babe. Because so many people have this misconception, like they won't even start with the feeling of overwhelming that I have to climb this big mountain, and they procrastinate things. So, as a person who consistently put effort for 3 to 4 hours each and every day for like 4 to 5 months of preparation to get into one of the top B schools in India, what is the advice, final advice that you want to give a person or a student who is going to start his prep or her prep in the month of May or June and wants to give whole heart to the preparation and to get into the colleges that you are going to get into SPJIMR FMS? So, what is that one piece of advice that you want to give them?
Just be calm. I think what happens is you can do all the preparation in the world, and I'm sure people who are aiming for these B schools are also as smart as I am. The difference maker is how well you are able to react under pressure. And that is why if you're giving mocks, you would know. Do not have this idea in your mind that you can just do a question on its own. It's about doing it under that time pressure, under that particular situation. So I don't know if you can maybe practice meditation. It's something that did work for me. Just having a clear mindset on what you want to do in those 40 minutes or in that 2 hours for those three sections. So I think just being calm is the biggest determinant compared to other competitive exams that are there in this country.
So I think the meditation thing is explicitly being suggested by Marty sir also. I think in so many videos he told to meditate before going to the exam or meditate each and every day also. So did that work you? Did you meditate every day?
So, sir, I didn't exactly meditate. I actually have an interesting story to tell here. So, I'm a really, really big fan of Novak Djokovic. He's a tennis player, and in my
Yeah,
opinion, the
yeah,
greatest
yeah.
tennis player of all time. And he has this entire mentality to shut out all noise, all outside noise, and just focus on the process. So when like at least when I was envisioning in the morning of the exam that I just need to focus on 2 hours, I need to focus on it question by question. So I would just maybe close my eyes and I would just think on how I would go about the paper. That's it, plain and simple business. And I think because I'm like following sports so widely, and I think Novak Djokovic is a massive inspiration for me. Uh, just knowing to that, keeping my eyes closed, I won't call it meditation because I think meditation is much more profound than just like, closing your eyes and like being silent. At the same time, I was also silent and had closed my eyes before the exam started. Just knowing what I wanted to do and having a plan created. So I think that maybe helped me. I was not panicked at any point of time in the exam because I knew what I was doing throughout those 2 hours. Was I planned for it accordingly, maybe a month prior. That is what I'm going to do step by step in those 2 hours.
So you visualized it also, what you're going to
Yes.
do and what are the things that you're going to do. Great, great. So yeah, I think you have given a lot of advice to the future aspirants also, and who are going to start their prep from the month of May, June also. And thank you so much, Yash, for sharing your journey with us. I wish you good luck. And as a CFA candidate who cleared all the levels and wanting to get into finance, I wish that you go into one of IB or PE or VC roles. I wish you very good luck for your future also.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for having me, Keshav, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I wish all the CAT aspirants out there all the best. I was in your shoes last year. And trust me, the victory feels very sweet after you've crossed that path.
Thank you. Okay, so that's it for this convo. We will get back to you with another topper story next time. Thank you.